And we are live.
Here's our opening theme song. Wah, 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 wah. There you go.
I
That's
figured
my feeling of the NFL for this week. So,
I figured you'd probably come out singing taps.
yeah, no. It's and you know what? You would think that it would have mostly to do with hiring and firing of certain teams' coaching staffs, but it's not. And I'll get into that later. That the wah has is more to do about the NFL overall, in my opinion on it at this given moment of the season.
Oh,
So here's the thing: Thursday night's Ravens Steelers got brought over to Sunday because
right.
of COVID. Since then, six more on the Ravens. They don't have physically enough players to physically play a game starting anymore. So they
Oh,
moved
well.
to Tuesday. So now the Steelers Ravens play Tuesday, and that might not happen. The Broncos don't have a quarterback. Jeff Driscoll got COVID, and because Rippon and Drew Lock were unmasked in close proximity to him, they've been put on the COVID list. There are no quarterbacks on the Broncos, but they're still going to play the game, even though there wasn't enough to be competitive for the Ravens. It's completely competitive to not even have a quarterback. They're actually grabbing a guy as of 1 day notice today off of the practice squad for the Broncos that's never played a game in his life in the NFL. That's who you're starting. The quarterback is going to be. And they also have their emergency quarterback, which is one of their wide receivers. That's who the Broncos are playing with this week. Between that and everything else that's going on, I'm going to make the unpopular opinion. I think that America is losing the war with COVID, and I think the NFL is also, and I think they should shut it all down. I think they're at the point now where their games are being delayed, games are being off, the teams aren't being competitive, and there's only so many weeks left in the season. You can't you can't extend the season out anymore. They need to take a couple week break, and so that's my wah because of the handling of the inconsistency of, well, when this team has a whole bunch of COVID people, they play, but this team has a bunch of COVID people, we should postpone the game. That is not cool. It's because it's the Ravens, and they have a competitive assumptions for this year. They're one of the few teams. So that is garbage to me because they're like, we're just talking about the Broncos. They're never going to win anyways. Let them play. That's not how it should be. It needs to be consistent policy, and they're not showing consistent policies. They're failing in the COVID game, and so I'm very disappointed right now with how the NFL's handling this, and I'm not going to be as enthusiastic about the rest of the season here on out, because I know my team's screwed, and we'll get into that probably during our picks. But right now, my overall, if they shut it down, I'd be okay with it. I know there's a lot of people that are like, no, we need normalcy. It's not being handled well. We've got the Raiders had a $500,000 fine for not following protocol and procedure. You heard about the Titans earlier this year. It's
right.
It's a mess, man. It's a mess.
Yeah. I do think the NFL needs to step up. If they have a good protocol for why they decide not to hold games, why they decide to postpone other games, they need to communicate that better. I don't know what goes, because honestly, I don't know what goes into their decisions. It's like you said, it seems like you can't just go by having a few cases of it, because we've seen, a few players here and there and games get postponed. Then you have the 49ers who played with basically backups on their offensive line, got killed by the Packers. I get that we need to a certain extent, what's been communicated is that this season can't be the fairest. There's just no way to do it. But
look at the draw. Somebody infects a whole bunch of people, and then it just spreads in that little area. That's what's happening with the Ravens. So, yeah.
And so Yeah, so there needs to be a fair system in place for how we decide to do this stuff, and it needs to be communicated, and we need to get it as close to being equitable as possible. And right now, see, I wasn't even aware of the Broncos. The only game that I knew that was in danger was the Steelers Ravens game.
Well, it's because the Broncos game isn't in danger. They just don't have a starting quarterback.
Yeah, well, and so why, that's why the NFL needs to communicate. Why is that game going on while the Steelers Ravens gets postponed? I don't know.
They said competitive advantage, but again, can we agree that the most important role on the team is the quarterback? And if you don't have a quarterback, that is a definitive competitive disadvantage if you don't have one.
Oh yeah, not everybody's got a Taysom Hill on their team.
Well, even that, in this instance, it's like he got sick, then Taysom Hill got sick, and the third string. I mean, there's all three quarterbacks are gone. They got to go to a guy off the practice squad on 1 day's notice. It's going to be chaos tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah, and so and I've been looking at the Ravens Steelers game, and at first I was just getting irritated with the Steeler fans because
they're being jerks about it.
Yeah, they're whining and complaining, and I'm thinking, well, you can't really. But then I heard the backstory was that we've got an idiot strength coach on the Ravens who apparently wasn't wearing a mask and not making the players follow all the protocols. So now they've got that may be part of what's fueling this outbreak. And if that's the case, then the Ravens need to be fined like the Raiders got fined.
Right.
And in that case, I can at least appreciate a little bit more of why the Steeler fans feel like enough's enough.
I get to the Steeler fans being frustrated because it wasn't the fact they could just, it's not what you say, it's how you say it,
Right.
If the Ravens are not being able to play this game and it's their damn fault for being stupid, that's frustrating. I get frustrated with my daughter all the time when she does stupid stuff. It's not that I'm mad at her. I'm just mad at the decisions she made because some of them do affect me. And I think that's what the Steelers are doing with the Ravens.
Right. And so I had mixed feelings after I found out that was the case. Now it turns out the Steelers have a small outbreak on their team.
Yep.
And I'm like, well,
they're not all healthy either.
There you go. You can't just it's hard to know, what's affecting what team. I don't know if I feel like we're at that breaking point. It's possible.
I think we're at the breaking point if we can actually definitively give procedures and lines of what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, what games can be played, what games, but it's all up in the air with a judgment call up top. And for me personally, I'm saying if we like the team and they can give us money in a good market, we'll let them play. But if not, we'll keep them healthy. But then if they're just a garbage team, we don't care if they get sick. And that ticks me off.
Right.
It's almost like
here's what the NFL should have done. The NFL should have hired about 60 men, 2 per team, to go in and do nothing but watch the teams and how they administer their safety protocols. And if a team didn't follow it to the T and you have an outbreak, then you start forfeiting.
It's kind of silly, but SAG has that, the Screen Actors Guild. There's Hollywood TV shows. They actually have representatives, third party, that are there on set telling them what the protocols and procedures are. And if not, then they're not going to be allowed to make their show.
Right. You can't just leave it to these teams to police themselves.
No.
I mean, some of them may police them, depending upon the men that are in charge and their character. Some men may choose to follow the rules exactly the way they're supposed to be done.
And some will take a bag of balls into the back room and then come out. with them with the different air pressure in them,
Right, but you can't expect everyone to follow those procedures. And I just noticed Dan. I didn't have it on the comment.
Crap, I
I
didn't
just
have
noticed
comments
Dan's
either. Hey,
talking.
Dan. Yeah, there we go. So he's thinking 12 too is going to be fair enough. We'll see.
Yeah. And
signed Dez to a 53-man roster. He actually caught a pass last week. I was impressed. He can still catch a ball.
Yeah. So to me, it just seems like the NFL is always behind. This is why I'm not a fan of Commissioner Roger Goodell, because I think that he is always he's not proactive enough. So he's always putting out dumpster fires. And that's where we're headed right now. And what they need to do is go ahead and hire those men, put them in place starting Monday or Tuesday or whatever, and try to get through this season. And then once we get to the playoffs, you may have to look at doing a bubble.
Right. The NBA, it worked. The bubble worked in the NBA.
Yeah. Now, the only problem there is you've got 3 times as many guys on an NFL roster as you do NBA roster.
True.
But you might still. But once you've knocked those teams down to a reasonable number, then you can maybe do a bubble.
Right. Can't do them with all the teams right now. A little too much.
Right. So, it's going to be tough. It depends on how, the NFL has got to realize that they have got to get on top of this, because as we go deeper in the winter, it's only going to get worse.
And harkening back to what you said earlier, we're trusting coaches like Bill Belichick, whose mental state every single day is pushing the boundaries and finding loopholes to give yourself a competitive advantage. And you're going to take these coaches who've been doing this their whole lives, all of a sudden be like, competitive advantage or not, loophole or not, you need to be a good boy and follow the rules.
Right. And
No.
And here's the thing. I mean, and you can't even get these guys to realize that keeping their players healthy is to their competitive advantage. It's like
Commissioner knows that, NFL knows that. That's why they're keep moving the Steelers-Ravens game out, because those are important teams with important players.
Right.
Extending that one out, they don't want those guys getting sick. That's their cash cow. And that's the part of that. Again, there's unless overnight they say, fine, the Broncos aren't playing tomorrow, I'm on the they need to shut it down.
Yeah.
But that's me. So anywho, how about the Dolphins?
Well, as far as I know, I'm not aware of us having any COVID outbreaks, so I guess we're
only disadvantage you have is it sounds like Fitzy's starting. Last I saw. So.
Yeah, from what I understand, Tua has a banged up finger. I don't, it's one of those things, and people will say, "Oh, well, see, there he's hurt, and he's already missing games." But I think you have to look at it as we're playing the Jets. We're not really thinking playoffs yet, and if this were a game that was important enough for him to play,
Tua would be in there if this was a playoff game. Or something.
He might be playing, but Dan's making a good point about the COVID. Players opted out of this season for a reason.
I know on the radio they said I think there's 12 players that the Patriots that didn't even play this season. So
for those who've never seen one of these before, this is a weekly occurrence of me trying to get my big butt cat off my modem. Okay. So
it's warm, Daddy. I keep saying it every week. Daddy, it's warm.
I am going to have to prop that up on something so that we don't keep doing this. But and now I'm being Roger Goodell and not really being proactive, am I?
Well, wishy-washy there, Daly.
So, a lot of players opted out for a reason. and it's a tough call because there were a lot of players that wanted to play for other reasons, and a lot of those were financial in nature.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a tough spot. I mean, it's hard to call off even for the players. The finances really. I mean, these guys are. We think about them; they make so much money, but well, the superstars make tons of money. The offensive linemen and guys like that, they make good money, but they don't make outrageous money. And
Remember, backup kickers still make league minimum. And what's that, like $500,000 a year? I'll take that money. Thank you very much. I'll sit on the bench as a backup kicker.
I would take that money all day long. But what I'm saying is, if you have, if you have expenses, if you're trying to say, like, if you have a business on the side, or even if you have a nice house and need to make a mortgage and things like that, and all of a sudden you get your paycheck swept away. I mean,
right.
So it's tough on them too. And
yes, they make a lot of money, but they also have a nicer car and a bigger house and other bills. So it doesn't mean they have tons of expendable income either. And yeah, when you take money away from them, their quality of life has to go down. I'm not a person that feels sorry for rich people. Never have been. I'm not problems, though I wish I had a problem like that. But right.
Well, I look at it like this. I don't really look at them as being every NFL player as being super rich. I mean, the offensive linemen will make decent money over the course of their career if they can stay healthy.
Right.
And then they will probably have physical needs that need to be met for the rest of their life. So they have to think about the money that they make after taxes and after agents. And then the money they make has to kind of take care of them and their health needs for the rest of their life. That's why we have so many players. That's why so many of the current players need to fight for these older players, because they don't have the money coming in anymore. That even though their games get shown on ESPN Classic and NFL Network. So, and then so the guys that are still, if you're not making any money, and I don't know that the players that opted out are making a paycheck at all.
I don't know either.
And so, so that's
the consideration.
Even if they have a nicer house than us, then well, that just means that their property tax is going to be a lot higher. And so,
update. I apologize. All 4 quarterbacks of the Broncos forgot that Blake Bortles was already on COVID.
Oh, wow.
So all 4 Broncos quarterbacks. That's why they're going to their practice squad.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's this thing is hitting everyone hard, and there are a lot of these players that want to keep playing because they want the league to be healthy, because that's where they get their money.
Right.
And so it's
players don't play, NFL don't make money. NFL don't make money, players don't get paid. So
right, and they get a decent sized piece of the pie, and so it's tough. It's tough, and so the decision to play or not play is not a simple one. I get that, but and God bless the guys that did opt out to keep their families safe. I heard a lot of people griping about those guys, and I'm thinking, no, you can't make a decision on. You can't judge a guy for the decision he makes regarding whether to play or not to play. Either way,
that's his personal decision. I don't hold it against anybody who's decided not to, nor against anyone who decided to.
Right.
I'm not in either of their lives.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk about
a little bit about
Turkey Day results?
Huh?
I was saying Turkey Day results.
Yeah, I was going to say let's hit these Thanksgiving Day games and some of the impact of those. First of all, I was pretty upset with your Lions. You let the Texans off the hook, man. I need them to get beat.
I know. I know. You got their draft pick, man. I know.
Yeah.
But Deshaun looked good. And I warned you going into it that they're
Yeah, I did.
shows, and if they had decent blocking, that it would be they'd score a lot. I was right.
Yeah.
Sadly.
You were. So what are your feelings? We've not talked much about Matt Patricia.
No. And if you notice, whenever I talk about Lions, I don't bring up his name. There's a reason for that.
You don't like him.
I like him as a human being, and he's an okay coach, but it goes deeper than that. I'm a Lions fan, all the way going back through time. Wayne Fonts, he got us to the playoffs. The only playoff win we've ever had, with Barry Sanders there, was with him. And then after Wayne Fonts, we kind of went through this rotating coaches. We stunk at it. I mean, we got guys in there, got us 0-16,
Yeah. And you had some guys that looked promising. Didn't you all have Bobby Ross one time?
Yeah. My thing is that Caldwell was our coach, and he got us to 9-7 and into the playoffs with wild card game 2 of the 3 years. And his last year was 9-7. So we're moving forward. We're consistently getting better every single year. We made the wild card a couple of years in a row. And they're like, fire him. Let's hire Matt Patricia. That's my problem.
Yeah. I would have kept
him. And it was going. It was working. All the players loved him. Now, what I feel about Patricia doesn't matter. I do know that consistently online, Ziggy Ansah, Ashawn Robinson, Darius Slay, all players that have left the team this year, all Twittered today, good riddance. You get what you deserve. Seriously.
Wow.
No sympathy. So whether I like the guy or not, all I can say is the players don't like him, and they got rid of a coach that the players all loved where we were gaining speed. So I think Patricia's a good coach, and I think that it's just that something's, it's not that I don't like Patricia. I just don't like what he represents. What he represents is Mr. William Clay Ford passing away, giving the team to his wife, Martha. Martha's like 80, 90, 150 years old. She gives the team then to her daughter, who now knows nothing about football whatsoever. She doesn't. And so what does she do? Well, which team's winning? Oh, the Patriots. Well, let's get their guy in here to be our general manager. And then he comes in, he grabs the coach from them and starts grabbing players left and right. But we were winning. We were a winning team. We didn't do all that. And that's the part that takes me off. We tried to become the Midwest Patriots, and it bombed. And I knew it was going to bomb from day one. And that's my frustration. So and then I was proven right. Yeah.
And Dan agrees.
Whether he's a good coach or not, he's not working in that system. The team's not playing for him to their full potential. But altogether, it's not really Matt's fault. It comes from ownership down, and that's the problem. And sure, getting rid of Quinn today also was a great move. They're trying to undo their Patriot experiment. But as long as you have an owner who honestly doesn't know squat about football, who's the daughter of a guy who also didn't know squat about football. Sorry. All I'm praying for is we get Eric Bieniemy in at coach.
Oh man, from what I've seen, he would be
he'd be perfect there. Detroit's a large African American community, a lot of black folk. He's a black guy, so having a black coach, and there's a big deal. That's what Caldwell was helping with. The community, the players. He is an awesome coach right now in KC. I think that if anything, we got to roll that red carpet, get out the most expensive caviar and champagne, wine him and dine him, make him see that we have all the tools. We just need him and convince him to come here, because there's about 6 other teams that are looking at Bieniemy also. And
right. And so, yeah, well, the only mystery to me is why Bieniemy doesn't have a head coaching job already.
Waiting for that's how I know he's waiting for the right one. He's not he's not going to be a coach because he just wants to be a coach. He wants the right place. And so, It's going to be important. I mean, why do you think Daniels is still with the Patriots? He could have got. He was hired in. It's Colts, and then he's like, I changed my mind. Never mind. Forget it. That's not the right place for me.
Yeah.
Patricia went, let's do it. So we saw how that turned out.
Oh yeah. And I was trying to think of the other Caldwell. Yeah, he was a good coach.
Caldwell's a great coach.
To let him go.
And the biggest thing was the differences of coaching styles. Caldwell was the father figure that was good job, champ, and giving you the encouragement, but being a friend, and everybody liked him. Patricia came in. I don't know if you remember. First thing he did was having people start running laps out in the rain and pulling that whole do your job thing. And so I know the first few months that he was in there were so many people saying, whoa, he's turning this whole thing upside down. This isn't what was working. It was one, but that's what he did. He brought in the Belichick thing of shut your damn mouth, do your damn job, and we're not taking no lip from nobody. And wasn't very personable, obviously. So let's try. It's tough that way. Yes, Mandy.
The blue team is better than the orange team. Blah.
The orange
blah,
team doesn't
blah,
have any
blah,
starting quarterbacks. Okay. You know what's funny is we haven't once talked about one team being better than another team this whole stream yet.
I know we actually have.
We have shows which you know, Mandy. We're talking about COVID and people personnel choices.
Yeah. You also needed you a good GM.
Yeah.
And
our personnel guy for Jenkins III, I forgot his name, but he's right now on the hot seat of being promoted up, our director of player personnel. So that's cool. But yeah, we got to get a GM. And we got to get a coach. And Daryl Bevel's our coach. Hey, I hear that knocking.
My neighbors are dancing on my ceiling.
Okay. So our head coach now is the guy that thought that not running the ball in the Super Bowl for Marshawn Lynch and instead throwing the ball for an interception that won the game for the Patriots. That guy, he's going to be our head coach now. So that's great.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted. It's just that this mic really picks things up as far as my being able to hear.
Well, I heard that knocking too, though.
Huh?
I heard the knocking.
You
I heard Plante.
You can't hear that?
Are we being too rowdy for you up there?
Yeah, they're just having a hoedown or something up there, and so I was trying to figure out. I thought maybe one of the cats was under the computer and its tail was hitting something, but no, they have WrestleMania up there sometimes, and maybe
Thanksgiving Rumble.
Maybe they're missing football, so they decide to have a game of tackle up there. I don't know, but yeah. So we're pretty sure that the Lions are. Well, how do you think they'll finish out the season? You think they'll play for? Have you all got an interim yet?
Like I said, Darrell Bevel.
Oh, Derek Bevel.
Yeah, like I said, the ex-offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, who thought that running the football in the Super Bowl was a good idea. Not, that's what I was saying earlier. That whole, he's the guy that actually said, "Yeah, Russell Wilson, why don't you pass it on the goal line and they'll never intercept it." That's the first thing that bugged me is that when we hired him as our offensive coordinator, who's going to be our head coach, interim, it's like, oh, great. We got the guy who didn't hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch and lost the Super Bowl. Wonderful. But that's what we got.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a rough season, probably the rest of the way for the Lions.
All I have is hope. Hope. This is true. How many times, Houston Texans are one of them, There's been chaos in the locker room, and then we get the interim coach in, and then all the lights flip on, and they play amazingly from there on out. It happens a lot. It could be that miracle this year. I don't see it, but maybe if they hate Patricia so much and they haven't been playing fully because of that, maybe they'll win all the way out. Do I drink the blue Kool-Aid? I don't know. I mean, do I have hope? I feel like giving up.
Maybe you can send them a card. Said Peppermint Patricia's gone. Now get to playing.
Get your crap together. Pack it and get going.
And then the Texans are starting to talk about playoffs, and I'm like, no, you all
wait,
need
wait,
to
wait. Hold on, guys.
Up the joint.
Back up.
Get back to losing, you bunch of bums. We need that high draft pick.
And Washington, look at that. 40
wow.
over the Cowboys. Did you see that one trick play there?
No, I didn't watch much of the game because I thought this is going to be lousy.
It's just one of those plays where it's like all they need to do is give us a first down, right? So the ball gets snapped over to Smith, and then he kind of like reaches over and kind of tosses the ball underneath the legs of the running back, who's actually, because it was like a T formation, it was parallel to him. He was right. Just gave it to him between his legs there, and then he stands there, the old fumblerooski. And then Alex Smith runs out this way, and sure enough, the guy with the ball ran the opposite direction and got the first down. It was the old fumblerooski hidden ball trick.
I'll have to go back and watch those highlights.
Oh, man, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of that. I just really figured that the Cowboys I thought maybe having what's his name? The quarterback.
Andy Dalton. Red Rock.
Andy Dalton. I thought maybe having Andy back might give him a shot in the arm. And no. They just they got tore up. And so now I guess maybe the Cowboys will be the worst in the division. Or the Cowboys and the Giants can fight it out to see what's Dan saying here? Yeah, but they played the Cowboys and Zeke couldn't hold the golf ball.
No, he doesn't. All right. We're going to do a screen share. I think I got it here.
Okay. Oh, that's me.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get this loaded. Come on, load. Turkey Day trick play, but I'd like to actually say it. Come on. Load. Well, it's not wanting to load.
All the stuff on the right hand side's working, but you can't get the one thing you want to work.
No. Stinking thing. Of course not. Well, let's see if I can find another link that works better.
Okay.
Let's try this one. Washington borrowed a trick play to bamboozle. All right. No, I think Twitter's down. All the Twitter links are gone.
What about YouTube?
Yeah, I might want to try that. Let's give that a go. I'll close these out. Give myself some more RAM. Let's go here. Washington football team. God, I hate that. Cowboys trick play.
Good night, Mandy.
There we go.
Touchdown, fumble, hike, first down. Good night. She got some.
All right, here it comes. It's so quick you can't see it, but what you got to watch for here is he's right here. He hikes the ball, gets it, and then sticks it between his legs and hands it to him. And then they all sweep out, and then he goes in the opposite direction. It's so quick. See right there? He just placed it under him, just right there. And everybody's still standing up. Everybody's standing up. Great. Cut. Boom. was just for a first down, but my gosh, that was just a thing of beauty. Everybody's standing there. He just says the word hut, grabs the ball, gives it to him, runs here. I love that. That was just awesome. But that was the kind of we actually want to win this game kind of attitude that Washington went into that with. And without everything going on, Cowboys and Washington were, they're not best of friends anyhow.
No. Dan says McCarthy just rolled his eyes in disgust.
I bet. Oh, what is that?
Oh, man.
What is that?
Hey, Dan, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Take care, bud. Thanks for stopping in. So, yeah. Alex Smith, comeback player of the year. He's got it in the bag.
Yeah, sounds like it. I mean, it'll be hard to beat them now. Chargers at Bills tomorrow afternoon.
I don't care. Oh, wait, sorry. I was going
to say, this might be the best game of the day.
It might.
You got, now I'm blanking on the kid's name from Buffalo. Allen.
Yeah. I personally am a fan of Allen, but Herbert's doing good. So I don't have a preference in this one, who I think is going to win. I think it's one of those draw games. It could go either way. I would like to say, again, for emotional reasons, I would prefer the Bills to win because I would like to see the Bills in a Super Bowl. And if there's a year where a Super Bowl could get won, that was the year they could do it. And they have the talent to do it. But the problem is, this is a really AFC heavy year. Look at the NFC teams and then look at all the AFC teams. So many good.
I was thinking a little bit the opposite.
I don't know, man. When you're looking at the Steelers, you got the Bills, of course, we've got the Chiefs, we've got the Ravens, there's like good 4 or 5 teams that have a legitimate shot there. And on the NFC, we got the Packers,
the Seahawks, the Cardinals.
Depends. Those have all year long. They're touch and go. They can be good.
Who do we say? Seahawks, Packers, Cardinals, Rams.
See, you're already questioning at number 4. I just listed 4 definitively. So
but now you listed 4 definitively. I'm saying teams playing on an elite level, or that can play on an elite level. The Chiefs we know. The Steelers, we don't really know because they haven't played anybody.
They will eventually.
The Ravens aren't as good as we thought they were. The Titans can be a little shaky. And so then you have upstarts like the Dolphins. Actually, I mean, if the season ended right now, we'd be in the playoffs. We'd be in the thick of it.
And that's the weird thing also.
Yeah.
COVID going on, they added extra playoff games. Oh,
yeah.
Pete's.
So, I don't know that I really see the AFC being that strong. I think that the Packers and the Seahawks are right. If there's anybody on a level with the Chiefs, it would be the Packers and Seahawks. As really potentially, and then if the Saints get healthy, they're scary.
True.
And the Arizona Cardinals are coming along. I mean, they've lost some, won some, but they've been in. They're.
I'm a homer. I'll admit, I have no respect for a team that the Lions beat. And the Lions beat the Cardinals, so they can't be that good.
Yeah.
Well, they are,
I don't know.
I'm having a hard time buying it, and I know Kyler's looking great, but
yeah, and I try to look at teams more in a dynamic sense rather than just thinking that whoever starts off good is going to be good at the end of the season.
Yeah, and everything,
and the year that really
and everything, yeah,
right, and the year that really taught me to do that was a Steelers championship year, because there was a year they started off shaky.
Yeah.
They barely made the playoffs. They made it and that was Jerome Bettis' last year.
The bus.
And they made it in, and they were, I think, a 5th seed wild card.
Was that Neil O'Donnell? Was he the quarterback?
No. The Roethlisberger was there.
Ben was there then? Okay. It was,
Oh yeah, and
one Super Bowl. Yeah.
and the Steelers not only wore white all through the playoffs, they wore it to the Super Bowl because they had been on the road for the entire playoffs. And they had won some, and some of those games were close. There was one game, I think, that Bettis fumbled the ball, and Roethlisberger had to save his bacon, if I remember right. I mean, but those Steelers, they started off shaky, but then as the season progressed, they got dangerous.
It does happen that way, and it goes the opposite route. We've
Bowl.
seen teams start off hot that just blow it off at the end, and
yeah, exactly. So that's why when I look at the Cardinals, they stumbled. Well, they started off hot. They blew out the 49ers, but then they had some bumps in the road, and they are playing the AFC East, which means that they are playing teams that are capable of putting up some points, even or just playing like the Dolphins. They lost to us, but we were playing above our heads.
Weren't the Cardinals one of the teams that used to be an AFC team?
No, they've always been.
Who are the teams that switched conferences? I know there was a couple when they did.
The Cleveland Browns were an old NFL team. So were the Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Indianapolis Colts, who were Baltimore back in the day. All three of those were previously NFL teams.
Yeah, and of course they wouldn't have been in the AFC if they were an NFL team unless they moved over, because then they would have been in.
Right, and that was part of the deal when they split up into two conferences. Some of those teams came over, and I don't know what they got in compensation for it, if anything. But yeah, those are the three. I'm trying to think if anybody else. I think that's, to the best of my recollection, that those are the three NFL teams that came over to the AFL, now the AFC.
I think the Buffaloes are going to win. I know Buffalo's 7-3 and the Chargers are 3-7. So logic would speak, of course, the Buffalo is going to win if you're just going by sheer records. But Herbert, for what I've watched of him, most of the games they've lost, he's played well, and they've been in it. They've been in the mix. They should have a better record than what they do. And like you were saying, things change throughout the year. But Bills on this one, what are you picking?
I'm picking the Bills. I mean, I don't think the Chargers have arrived yet. I think they're putting the pieces together, and I think that they can. I don't think this is a gimme. I think the Bills need to show up. But I think it could be, and it might be a high scoring game, but I think the Bills will win it. Better team.
News flash, news warning, update. Go ahead. Share.
Let me see if I can.
Santa Clara County, home of the 49ers in Stanford, bans all contact sports for 3 weeks due to COVID-19. Where are the 49ers and Cardinals going to play their home games for the next few weeks? Nobody knows. Where are they going to practice? Nobody knows. But they cannot go to their home facilities for the next month. There's your COVID NFL update.
Well, that's going to put a wrinkle in it. The 49ers play at the Rams this week, so it won't really affect them.
But they got a home game in the next 3 weeks, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. All right, so we got the Bills going over the Chargers. Though we both like the direction the Chargers are headed, right?
Correct. I agree.
So then we've got.
I think they're going to be a force next year. I think that Herbert gets this under his belt, do some fine tuning on the offense, because I think the coaches are now saying, okay, this is the kind of quarterback Herbert is. He needs help in these areas where we thought he needed help in these areas. They start doing some drafting and trading and free agents. Chargers are going to be look forward to some fun next year with them.
Oh yeah, Then we've got the Titans at the Colts.
Both 7-3, man.
I can't even remember who I picked in this game.
I picked the Tennessee Titans because I like Derrick Henry better than Phillip Rivers. And that's it. Because they're so even.
I picked the Titans too, though I think how many confidence points, and you were with me when I did this. Well, I gave Tennessee some pretty good confidence points too.
Well, I think that was one of the last ones. I remember you put the confidence one, then you went back later and added.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the later heavy ones where you just
Yeah, the Colts definitely are better than I thought. Mm-hmm. And the Titans, they worry me sometimes, but I guess I've not seen enough out of the Colts to pick them over the Titans.
They can look good. I've seen them play well, and Phillips had some good games. So, it is what it is. But I don't know. I just want to see Derrick Henry get 200 yards through people and over them and crush some skulls on the way to the end zone. That's what I want to see. Some stiff arm.
Then we got the Panthers at the Vikings.
Oh, that's going to be good. Both teams that are, as of recently, having those Jekyll and Hyde moments. Both teams have been like, wow, they look like garbage, and wow, they look really good. Which team shows up on each one of those? This is that gamble game. I don't know. It's 4-7, 4-6.
Yeah, Panthers are kind of out of it, but I don't know. Can the Vikings get back into the wild card hunt? They'll need this game to do it.
I mean, let's be honest, okay? Let's not mince the words here. If the Vikings can get in the playoff hunt, then the Lions can get in the playoff hunt because their records are only one game off each.
Right, except that if you're looking at the trajectory of the two teams, the Vikings started off stinking up the joint, and they've been getting better every week.
They have been getting better. They had a big win. I mean, God, they've beaten some good teams, man, or played hard against them. Even some of the teams they lost to were some good teams, and they were in the hunt with significantly less talent. I mean, did you expect them to shut us out last week? Come on, Dale. Let's be honest.
No.
20% of the Detroit with PJ at quarterback, and the reason I'm giving them a chance is if PJ's still in at quarterback, I don't know if he is this week or not. I like the kid. I liked him in the AAF. I thought he was straight fire, and then he comes in, plays his first game, shuts out an opponent. They look like they're doing good, and Vikings are doing good. So I don't know, man.
So you have to figure that how many? We got 3 playoff spots, and it looks like whoever doesn't win the South, the other teams, the Saints and the Bucks are probably going to make it in.
I think the NFC East is going to be
Rams and Seahawks are probably going to make it in. I guess what they got to hope for is try to catch the Cardinals, and that may be difficult because the West could put 2 wild cards in. Nobody's going to take a wild card in the East.
No, so that leaves an opening for the West to snag a spot.
Yeah, so it'll be between the Cardinals and maybe the Bears or Vikings. And the Cardinals right now have a game lead on the Bears, 2 games on the Vikings. So it all depends on what the Cardinals kind of have their own destiny in their hands. But the Vikings and Bears, either one of them get red hot though, they could potentially give them a run.
We'll see this week because if the Bears lose to the Packers, which very well could happen, that's going to make it a lot harder for the Bears. And with Vikings playing the Panthers this week, which they could win, that could bring the Vikings definitely up. And then because now we're going to be 5 and they're going to have pretty close records. So
right, and have we gotten to the Cardinals game yet?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, so we'll look at the Cardinals when we get there.
Yeah.
So I guess do we both have? I think I picked the Vikings to win.
And I picked the Vikings. I said I'm going to pick whatever you pick on this one. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, so from there we go to the Browns versus Jaguars. Now, what are you going to do here? Because you've got your flip side, your Bizarro Lions versus your Kitty Cat Alliance.
I know it's the Cat Team Brotherhood is the correct term. Show some respect. Cat Team Brotherhood. They have their own subreddit. Anyway, yeah, but here, let's be real. Jacksonville's 1-9.
They're not winning this game.
They're not going to win this game. Browns got this.
They're more done than the Lions.
Are they as done as the Jets is what you were referring to, right, Dale?
Oh, let's see. So then we got...
Give me a stink eye.
Well, let's get back to your Kitty Cat Alliance because now we have the Giants and the Bengals.
Cat Team Brotherhood. Here we go.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Kitty Cat Alliance, whatever. I'm officially this is my I give a crap the least game of the week. I don't care about either game or either team. I mean, Burrow's out for the Bengals, obviously. They're all banged up and hurt. They could work their tail off. Probably can beat the Giants. But then again, the Giants have looked good here and there sporadically. If the Giants want to win the game, they can. So who wants it will take it, I think is what's going to come down to. But
yeah,
lack of talent, one's got a lack of coaching. I don't know which one's going to win.
Yeah, though when I think about the Giants, all I can think about is that quarterback with a clear sailing in the
Way to go, Danny Dimes! Way to go!
But I did pick the Giants in this game.
Yeah, and Danny Dimes, other than that one play, he's great out of the backfield. There's been quite a few games where he was the leading rusher on the team, so gotta give him credit.
Yeah. But boy. That face plant was funny.
Yeah, funny.
Now we get to the Cardinals.
There we go.
This could be a really make or break one for them. Cardinals versus Patriots.
I think Cardinals can easily do Patriots.
Huh?
I don't care if it's in Foxborough. I don't care.
You're not going to go with that home team garbage crap, are you?
Yeah, are you, Dale? Are you? No, but I think the Cardinals can easily do I don't see New England right now being a cohesive unit at any point, and the Cardinals are strong, and think I want to see the Cardinals do good here. So
yeah, I picked Arizona too. I just don't. I think the days of the New England Patriots being able to rely on things like home field advantage and just out coached and everything. I think those are over. I just think it's over.
The Lions are 4-6, right? We fired Patricia. Now Patriots should just fire Belichick, don't you think? Oh, yeah, they're 4-6 too.
Are they?
Belichick, fire Belichick.
Wouldn't be any skin off my teeth.
No. I'm saying if we can fire our coach because of our record, then get him gone. Get him.
Man, we're 2 games ahead of the Patriots. How great does that feel?
Doesn't that feel good? Good.
Speaking of my friends,
look at the whole East there, guy. I mean, look at the Buffaloes 7-3. Jets, they're the Jets, but still, you're fighting. You're right at the top there.
So now we're to the Dolphins and the Jets.
So 30 points or 40 points they're going to win by? What do you think?
There was something that popped across the news about the New York Jets, and I want to.
Oh, goody.
I can't remember what it was. So I thought, and it wasn't good news for them.
They decided to keep Gase? Yeah, that is bad news.
Our running game will be shorthanded against the Jets. What's that about?
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Is right. So
What you mean the Dolphins had a running game? Oh, they kind of did. You're right.
yeah, I mean our guys were coming in and doing a little something. Gaskin will not be coming off of injured reserve. That's not good news.
Van Ginkel's still playing though, right? As long as you got the Van Ginkel or whatever, you're good.
We're also going to be without Salvan Ahmed.
Who?
Salvan Ahmed, remember the guy that will kill you with his running game.
Give me crap. Just give me crap.
So I don't know why we don't have him.
Okay,
but it says we're going into the Jets game with the Patrick Laird, DeAndre Washington, and Matt Breida.
Yeah, it'd be fine. I mean, honestly,
I'm not worried about it.
They're legit tanking. You could play with your third stringers, and they're just going to let you walk by because they're not having any intent to win the game. Whereas your scrubs will have every intent to try to win the game. So that no.
I'm not seeing the bad news.
Is that one of those clickbait titles? Because it's a New York team, and you put a clickbait title: "Bad news for the Jets," and then you click on there. It's like the Dolphins have a few players that are not going to play. Like, huh? What? That doesn't even line up. Lies.
Whatever bad news they had, I'm not seeing it. So,
Joe Flacco guarantees a victory, trying to emulate Joe Namath. Great, go for it, Flacco.
So I did see something in there about Sam Darnold being back.
So maybe that's the bad news.
I'd rather have Darnold than Flacco.
You're right. I would too.
I mean, so I don't know.
I'm just crapping on them. They deserve to be crapped on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we'll win. I think we better not play around with them.
No, I don't think you take them for granted at all. But
no, I think we go out there and play like we've been playing, and I think it'll go our way. But if we look past them,
trap game could be a guys' trap game.
We're not good enough not to get beat. So
now, I'll be honest. I said this last week, and I'll say it again. The Browns and the Lions are in an exclusive club. So the Jets have to beat somebody this year. Maybe it's the Dolphins.
Oh.
Don't curse. Don't say I just jinxed you, didn't I?
Don't you dare.
Just maybe hypothetically in a weird, bizarro world.
Yeah, I don't know who the Jets have the rest of the year. They can beat one of them.
Okay.
We're not doing it.
I just said that because of what you said about the Lions earlier. I was just getting back.
Man, you better not jinx my Fins. Because I'll have a return jinx next week for you.
Return curse. All right.
Raiders at Falcons.
Yeah. I think the Raiders are good this year. They're
the Raiders.
The Raiders. I definitely pick them over the Falcons. I don't know what the Falcons' problem is. I still haven't figured it out yet. They got.
No, I mean, on any given day, they can put up some points, but
they just can't finish it. And I don't know why.
They can't seem to get out of their own way. Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders.
Picking the Raiders.
Yeah. Saints at Broncos. Taysom Hill versus
question mark. Fourth. I know. I got the name of the guy here. Hold on. Let's do a deep dive into the starting quarterback.
Broncos quarterback option.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. Athletics. There we go. Scroll. Running back Royce Freeman is up because he's their emergency quarterback. But the guy from the practice squad, his name is Kendall Hinton. Let's go take a look at Kendall Hinton here. Who is Kendall Hinton? Well, he went to he actually played wide receiver in college and was put on the practice squad as a quarterback. He's never played a game professionally or semi-professionally or college at quarterback. That's nice. Let's take a look here. Oh, no, wait, maybe not. If Kendall Henry played quarterback for the Broncos, he's actually thrown a pass touchdown more recently than Saints starting quarterback Taysom Hill. Because Taysom Hill has not thrown a touchdown yet. He for a whole bunch. Last time Taysom Hill threw a touchdown was it says here 2000, October 7, 2017 or 2016. Hinton threw a touchdown pass on October of 2017. So we both got wide receivers thrown into a quarterback position. Wow. That is going to be awesome. I did not realize that we have emergency wide receivers turned into quarterbacks going head to head. This might be fun. I got to watch this now.
I can't wait until the third quarter of this ball game when John Elway gets so fed up.
That's it. Give me my pads.
He comes out. He comes out on the field. He takes off his jacket like Ric Flair, starts dropping elbows on it.
Woo!
And screaming woo. Takes his shirt off and
just John, he's lost it. Look, he's getting back on his.
And then Von Miller taps on his shoulder and says, "Sit your butt down on the bench."
Grandpa, that way, Gramps. Come on.
Before you get hurt. I could see it. I don't know why I just saw that in my mind, but that's what I just envisioned.
Beautiful. But overall, Taysom Hill does have more experience professionally at quarterback, and he's more of a threat. Their quarterback is going to be an unknown factor, and they're already a worse team by far. So, Saints got this.
I gotta think that the only wrinkle here is that the Broncos do have a good defense.
Mm-hmm. And there are days where Melvin Gordon still looks like Melvin Gordon.
Right. And so there is that, there's that thing that caught up with us when we played the Broncos was that their defense is not a joke. And even when Fitzpatrick came in and got something going, even he threw a pick. So you just can't, so what would help the Saints if they find a way to score quickly and then make the Broncos play from behind. And hope and they have and Taysom Hill has to be careful with the ball. No pick sixes.
Remember, Taysom hasn't thrown a touchdown since 2016 when he was in college.
Right.
The other guy hasn't since 2017. So, I don't think it's going to be a big passing game. We're going to do a lot of running.
Productive offensive game last week, right?
Right. It's what they're going to do is the same thing. You're going to have a lot of, pass options. You're going to have a lot of, and the short, high efficiency, the running plays, but you're actually just throwing the ball sideways. It's like a handoff, but it's 5 yards through the air kind of things. That's the kind of production you're going to see.
Close deep into the game just because the Saints aren't going to want to throw anything fancy at the Broncos. So they're liable to trade punches for a long time and see which one of them blinks first.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right on that. I think there's going to be a lot of ground game, and they're going to be bashing back and forth until endurance runs out for somebody, and then whoever comes out the end is the one that ate their Wheaties that morning.
But the Broncos have definitely got to keep this. They can't allow any big plays because if they get behind, they
don't have the ability to come back. How?
Right.
What talent? They can't.
Right. All right. So now we got the 49ers at the Rams.
Classic rivalry.
Yeah. It's just a matter of which Rams team or 49ers team shows up, though the Rams haven't been super consistent either.
And now, just the day before the game, they get to realize that they've been kicked out of their house. So they're going,
I don't know that that'll be on their mind too much until they get back and have to deal with it. So, I mean, it's been an odd year anyway. So
I like the Rams with this. I think that overall, all three sides of the ball, they're a more consistent, well-balanced team than the Niners are. The Niners can be good, but they're spotty, and there are quite a big questionable holes here and there on offense and defense. So I go with the Rams. 7-3 for a reason. They're 7-3 for a reason. The Rams are.
Right. And I agree. I agree with it. I just it's just so hard to figure out what 49er team is going to come out. Is it the one that got whooped by the Cardinals and the Dolphins?
Right.
Or the one that comes out and whoops somebody else? It's just.
Well, was Jimmy Garoppolo was one of the factors in there. So he's there, they didn't do good when he was out, but they come back and they seem okay.
No, that was part of it against the Dolphins. He wasn't ready. He wasn't game ready yet. It took him a week.
Right.
And the next week, didn't they come back and whip somebody?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so
referencing.
So that's the problem.
When you guys played him, I forgot. I thought he was out that game. So yeah, he did play that game versus the Dolphins.
Yeah, he played against us. He just you could just tell he wasn't
rusty.
Yeah, he just needed to get back in game shape. All right, now we got wow. Chiefs at the Buccaneers.
Game of the week. At least I'm thinking game of the week. It's a Super Bowl rematch, right? Or AFC Championship rematch, I meant to say.
No, not even that.
It's Brady. I consider Brady the Patriots, okay?
But the Patriots didn't make it that far, remember. They got home in the wild card round.
Man, just the whole thought of Mahomes versus Brady. Old school, new school. Pocket passer, mobile guy that's ingenuitive. It's the dichotomy of styles. It's the old, and it's gonna be great.
What it is it's the Buccaneers trying to keep up with the Saints and trying to find some sort of consistency because they've had some down games too. The times they've looked incredible, like when they beat the brains out of the Packers, and then they turn around and get whooped.
Yeah.
So
they still got a good record. They're still probably going to make the
they're still good, and I would say they're a favorite to get a wild card spot
for sure.
But then you got the Kansas City Chiefs rolling in.
To me, they're still the number one overall team in the whole NFL. End of story.
Right.
I know the Steelers are 10-0. I still think the Chiefs are a better team. I still do.
Oh yeah, because they have played a better quality of opponent. As I look at the Chiefs' record, or at who they have played, they've beaten the Ravens in Baltimore. They beat a hot Chargers team in San Diego. They beat the Bills in Buffalo. They did. And the game that they dropped was to the Raiders, but then they turned around and beat the Raiders.
Exactly. They hit them twice this year and got them once. So,
and and they've smoked some people too. And yeah, so I still think the Chiefs are the team to beat, and I'm picking them over the Bucs.
The Bucs started hot-ish, but there have been very questionable games and play by Brady. Even on games that they won, you can look at it and go, yeah, he doesn't look like himself. This doesn't seem right. So Brady's not the Brady he was, but they still have – Arians is a heck of a coach. Well, I'd love to get him on the Lions. That'd be great. But that'll never happen. But, yeah, I think that Chiefs are going to get it too. But I think it might be a fun game to watch. I'd like to see it be competitive. It would actually – hurt me a little. No, I'd actually be happy. I apologize. I'm lying to you completely. I would love to see Brady tank and get their butts whipped.
Right. Now, I will say this. I don't think that the Buccaneers have a shot. Now that I look at their schedule, I don't think they have a shot at
what they got for the rest of the year? What do they got?
Well, their opponents aren't. It's not that their opponents are so tough. After this game, it's not that bad. I mean, they've got the Vikings, the Lions, and the Falcons twice.
So that's pretty good. They should.
Yeah, but what I'm looking at, the reason why I don't think they'll catch the Saints unless the Saints just collapse.
The Saints have an even weaker schedule.
Saints beat them twice.
Oh yeah, there's that.
And beat them, and in one of the games beat the brains in. So they're not going to win head to head, and if it's points scored, that's not going to help them. Well, let's look at the Saints' schedule the rest of the way out, because I didn't realize we were so close to the end. We got it is just 1 month. So they've got the Eagles, Chiefs, Vikings, and Panthers. So, but even if they drop one to the Chiefs,
they got the Panthers, Vikings. Depends.
Yeah. So even if they drop one to the Chiefs, they've still got a big enough lead. Well, all right. So let's say the Buccaneers went out. They can still drop one to the Chiefs, but I don't even know if I see the Buccaneers winning out.
No.
To be quite honest. So
if you look at it that route, they got a rough road.
I don't know. I just don't see the Buccaneers being able to win the division.
But they got a wild card, so they can go for it.
Oh yeah. So they'll keep going. So I guess we're both agreed on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh well, now you love this game, Bears and Packers.
Yeah.
You love both of those teams, don't you?
Well, remember, I have.
You hate the Packers more than anybody.
I have 3 favorite teams in the NFL. 3 teams: the Lions, any team from the Cat Team Brotherhood, and whoever's playing the Packers. So, I love the Bears this week. They're my favorite. Their 3rd favorite team.
Oh wow!
I don't have that much animosity for the Vikings and the Bears.
I can understand that.
They're victims just as much as we are of the Packers' dominance. So
I can understand that. I mean, there's no team I hate more than the Cheatriots. You know,
I'm sure you're like, yeah, I'd rather we
crazy about the
Jets beat them, but yeah,
I'm not crazy about them, but I would take either one of them over the Cheatriots any day.
I think the common consensus on this game is the Bears got no chance of winning, but I sure hope they do. I sure hope they do. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm picking the Packers here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you are too.
If I did, I'm not admitting to it. And of course, this is the point where Winebender comes in. They're like, "Hey guys, did somebody say Packers?"
Where's Eric? I miss him tonight. Then we got that's the late game tomorrow, so you can get to watch that on Sunday Night Football.
And I will.
And then Monday night we get the Seahawks and Eagles.
Yep.
And I think we're both picking the Seahawks there.
Yeah, and I'm being honest with you. I don't think the Tuesday night game is going to play. They're going to push it out again. I can't see miraculously that many players all getting off the COVID list that quickly, and the teams. So I know we get the Ravens Steelers again, but
the Ravens can't field the team right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Yeah, it's ugly.
In general, the Ravens as good as we expected them to be? No. Do they have the ability where they could beat the Steelers? Yes. There is a chance. If they play to their ability and if they can do it. Jackson is a good enough quarterback to get it done.
Yeah. And they can go into Pittsburgh and get that win, but can they do it with half their team out? No.
Like I said, in key circumstances, playing to the top of their ability, missing half your team is not top of your ability. So,
no.
If they play, Steelers will win. They have less people on the COVID.
And so they've already taken next Thursday's game, which was supposed to be the Ravens, off the. They've moved it already.
Yep.
So we don't even have another game till the following Sunday.
Nope.
That's the weirdest schedule. And
that's it, right? I think.
That's it. And then we got 4 more weeks. And when do we start getting in the Saturday games?
Last week or two. But again, I would be okay if they ended the season now.
Yeah.
4 weeks and then kept the playoffs wherever it is right now. However it lands right now, they pick the teams and they give 4 weeks for the teams to quarantine, get their stuff together, get the procedures in place, guarantee that all the teams are 100% healthy, and then start the playoffs when the playoffs normally happen. I'm totally fine with that. Because we all know, except for 1 or 2 teams, who really should be in the playoffs and who really shouldn't be. There's a fine division this year on okay teams versus crap teams. So they could do that. I don't think it would affect the outcome personally. But
yeah, we'll just have to watch it closely and see what happens.
Yeah. So
all right.
Been a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me again.
All righty.
And what are you and Mandy doing Wednesday again? Forgot.
We are doing A Christmas Story.
I knew you would. I was just waiting. I was just putting a plug in for you. I was trying to.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't even do any announcements today, did I?
Oh, I want to help you out there at the end.
Talk about the contest that's ending tomorrow night.
Oh, that's tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah. And we didn't talk about mainly because I haven't finished the artwork for the thumbnail, but I haven't, and I'll do that tomorrow. But A Christmas Story.
Yeah, shoot your eye out. Yeah, shoot your eye out. Sorry.
I have not seen that movie.
You've not watched Christmas Story yet?
No.
Ever? I watched a year from like age 10 till 20 last week. I love that movie. It's so good.
All right. So
good luck, man. You'll enjoy it. Take care.
Wait a minute. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at our Christmas season.
Oh, yeah.
We have 4 Wednesdays between starting this Wednesday, between then and Christmas.
Okay.
I know all 4 movies.
Okay, so we got Christmas Story coming up, first one.
That's the first one.
Then
I'm trying to remember the second one. I know the third one.
People can hear you. Just
yeah.
Maybe lean into the camera a little bit.
Oh, I remember the second one.
What was it?
Christmas Vacation.
Oh God, another classic.
Yeah. Want to know the third one?
We just talked about Christmas Vacation the other day when we were talking about planes, trains, and automobiles. Okay, and third?
Want to know third? It's Elf.
Yes. Oh, you're picking all the good ones. Can't you pick a bad one?
Okay. So we saved a special one for the Christmas. It'll be Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah. It'll be 22nd?
23rd.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life.
The original Jimmy Stewart, right?
Right.
He's going to take off his shirt, right?
And
for all you guys who are listening, that's an inside joke courtesy of Mandy over at Academy Arts. Thank you very much.
And Mandy and I have floated the idea because we didn't quite get to all the Christmas movies I wanted to do about doing a special maybe Sunday or Saturday or Sunday afternoon. And we may, if we do, Ernest Saves Christmas is on my short list.
I'm having a heart attack. That's right up my alley. I love those. That's the right level of schlock cheese that just makes me happy.
The 2 that we haven't made up our minds that I wanted, that were on my short list that didn't make it were Ernest Saves Christmas and Scrooged.
Okay.
So
Bill Murray, you can't go wrong with Bill. But
So I don't know how much if those two are big enough draws. I felt like the other four were a big enough draw where we might actually get some people. Though I'm fighting these algorithms to try to get the word out.
I got a post on Facebook at exactly 1:46 p.m. and make sure to. Well, it has to be exactly 14 days before the thing, and then another post at 3 days, and then it's crazy, man.
I did learn how to put a direct link to the live stream in the links that I've been providing for them. So instead of just taking it to the Dolph Van Dale page, it takes it straight to the live stream.
Got it. Good.
But yeah. Everything I'm doing right now is about just trying to beat some algorithms. I'm not trying to be huge.
But if somebody wants to watch,
right?
They know that it's there because you'd be doing them you'd be doing them a failure if you didn't get the word to them if they really did want to participate.
Right. So, like even this morning, I got a notification from a guy that said, "Hey, I love your stuff. I'm a new subscriber," and so that's what the people I'm trying to reach. Are the people out there who might like this stuff and don't know about us because we're the little guys, and YouTube more than ever is not promoting little guys.
Nope.
So
it's a friendship network, and we got to think of it that way.
Yeah.
We're advertising. We got to hit the ground, hit the pavement, knock on the door, say, "Hey," because they're not going to be handing out flyers for us at all.
Nope. So,
all right,
anyway, pleasure, Steve.
See you Wednesday.
Are you going this Wednesday? You going to peek your head in the door?
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I think so.
All right.
Remember, this is 2 weeks in a row we've actually talked about movies I've already watched. Because all the other ones I planned on watching, never got a chance to because I procrastinate and I get busy. But I know these movies.
But between now and then, you're going to watch Due Date, right?
Absolutely not. No. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. Why would I? It's just a copy of another movie, and the other movie was much better. Why would I watch inferior knockoff?
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Take care, bud.
Bye.